Last week, I was up at 3 a.m. in the morning, not because of my daughter being up earlier than usual or the dogs barking, because I couldn't stop thinking about a conversation I had with a fellow parent entrepreneur. She told me, Tracy, I feel like I'm throwing spaghetti at a wall in my business. I create content, I reach out to local businesses, but I'm just guessing at what it is they actually want. Does that sound familiar? Well, here's what I told her, and here's what I'm about to tell you in this episode. What if you never had to guess again? What if you could know with scary accuracy exactly what keeps your customers awake at night, what solutions they're desperately searching for, and what your competitors are completely missing? Yeah, right? What if you could discover all this in less time than it takes you to drive to cheer practice? Well, today I'm sharing the AI customer detective method that's about to end your guessing game forever. What is up? What is up? What the hell is up, my Dark Horse friends and family? Welcome back to another episode of the Dark Horse Entrepreneur Podcast. I am your humble host, Tracy Brinkman. And if this is your first time joining us, welcome to the show where we help busy entrepreneurs turn limited time into unlimited potential. And if you're a return listener, well, thank you for being a part of this amazing community of action takers who refuse to choose between family time and financial freedom. Now, you know that conversation I mentioned earlier? It got me thinking about my own epic failures. And trust me, I've had my share. We all have, right? Let's just be honest. Let me tell you about one time where I spent 3 whole months creating what I was convinced would be the perfect course for you parent entrepreneurs. You guys listening right now, this is not too long ago. I called it the Ultimate Side Hustle Blueprint. Catchy, right? Surely that would be a little bit of clickbait. Anyway, I poured everything into this. Late nights after the kids were in bed, early mornings before they woke up, weekends when I should have been involved with other family activities. I created 12 video lessons, an audio version as well, workbooks, templates, the works. I was so proud of this course, I thought I had struck gold. Then comes launch day, and crickets. I mean, tumbleweeds rolling through an abandoned town level of silence. A few sales here, if I am completely honest, but nothing like what I had visioned. And I'll be honest, I was a bit devastated. Here I had sacrificed quality time, family time, sleep, sanity for what? So I did what any rational person would do, probably what you would have done as well. I started asking people, why the hell didn't you buy? And you know what I discovered? I had created a course about starting side hustles when the very audience I was targeting really wanted help managing the side hustles they already had started. They weren't looking for more ideas. They were already drowning in the ones they had already started. I had spent 3 whole months solving a problem that didn't exist while completely missing the real problem that was keeping them up at night. Why did this happen? Well, because I was so busy being a parent entrepreneur that I never took the time to actually do the research of what my fellow parent entrepreneurs really wanted, really needed. So here's the thing. As parent entrepreneurs, we're always told we don't have enough time to compete with all those full-time hustlers out there. You know the ones I'm talking about. They've got all kinds, those 20-year-olds, those 25-year-olds, no family commitments. You're told you can't build a real business working just evenings and weekends. That's what they tell us, right? You're not, some of you are nodding your head because they also tell you you need to hustle 24/7 just to make it. But what if I told you that time constraint is actually our secret weapon? What if our time constraints could force us to be smarter, not just work harder like everyone else? See, when you only have 30 minutes between bedtime stories and you collapse on your own bed, you can't afford to waste time on guesswork. You can't spend weeks doing market research the old-fashioned way. You need intelligence and you need it fast. And that's exactly what I'm going to show you how to get in this episode. Now, let's talk about the elephant in the room, or should I say the elephant in the minivan. Most parent entrepreneurs are flying completely blind, myself included, as I gave you the example, when it comes to understanding their customers. And I'm not just talking about you. I'm talking about the local businesses that you want to help with email marketing or whatever services you're looking to offer. Here's what I see happening every single day. Parent entrepreneurs wake up with what they think is a brilliant idea. Maybe it's a course on time management or a service helping restaurants with their social media. They get excited and they start creating. And they base everything on one dangerous assumption. Well, this is what I would want. And here's the problem. You, my friend, are not the customer. And just because you struggled with meal planning doesn't mean that other parents are losing sleep over it. Just because you think the local pizza place needs better Instagram posts doesn't mean that's what's actually hurting their business. Okay? Stick with me. We're making $1 million decisions based on $1,000 assumptions, and it's killing our success before we ever even get started. What's that? Yeah, I can hear what you're thinking on my magic headphones here, Tracy. I get it. I should do market research. But have you seen my schedule between school pickup and soccer practice and just trying to keep everyone fed as well as alive? When exactly am I supposed to conduct customer interviews? Well, this is the time trap that keeps so many entrepreneurs stuck where they are, spinning their wheels in the mud, in the muck, in the mire. We tell ourselves we don't have time for proper research, so we skip it entirely. We convince ourselves that our gut instinct is good enough, that our limited time is better spent creating rather than researching. But here's the brutal truth, my friends. You do not have time not to do the research because creating the wrong thing is the biggest time waster there is out there. Here's where I want you to lean in a bit because it's going to get interesting. If you're planning to help local businesses with their email marketing, which by the way is a fantastic opportunity that we just talked about in the last episode, and if you didn't listen to that episode, go on back to that episode and give it a listen right away because those business owners are making the exact same mistakes about research. That restaurant owner thinks his customers want to hear about all his daily specials when what they probably want is advance notice about those family-friendly events. That fitness studio owner right down the road, he thinks people care about new equipment, when what they're actually worried about is feeling judged by all the other members that are in there working out with them. Yeah, a little bit of a you feel me on this, right? Your local business clients are flying just as blind as you are, which means if you can solve this problem for yourself, you can solve it for them too. And that, my friends, is how you become completely invaluable. So let me paint you a picture of what this guessing game, I'm going to call it, actually is costing us. Not just you, me included. I've been there. I, I'm teaching you what I've learned. Okay. So it's not just the money, although that hurts. It's the time that we can't get back. It's the energy that we pour into projects that go absolutely nowhere. And it's the confidence that gets chipped away every time something does not work. Okay. But here's the real cost. It's the opportunity cost. While you're creating something nobody wants, your competitors are creating something everyone needs. While you're guessing, they're knowing. While you're hoping, they're converting. Yeah, right? Here's what I need you to understand. Before you can write emails that convert for those local businesses, like we talked about in that previous episode, you need to know what keeps their customers up and awake at 3 a.m. And before you can build your own empire, you need to understand what your audience is really struggling with. Yeah. But here's the good news. There's a way to get this intelligence without spending those weeks or months or all those hours on research like we used to have to do. There's a way to know instead of guess. And it takes about as long as it takes to put the kids to bed and watch one episode of your favorite show. Let me show you how. Here we go. Let me introduce you to your new secret weapon, ladies and gentlemen. I'm not exaggerating when I say this is going to change everything for you. So lean in. Whatever it is you're doing, go ahead and you can keep doing it, but just give me a little bit of extra attention. Turn the volume up a smidge if you don't mind. It's called ChatGPT's Deep Research tool, and it's like having this team of market researchers working for you while you sleep. Yeah, now here, yeah, what's that? Yep, I hear you in my headphones once again. You're probably thinking, Tracy, look, I've used ChatGPT before and it gives me decent answers, but nothing groundbreaking. Look, you're right. Regular ChatGPT is like asking a smart friend for advice. But deep research, that's something different. That's like hiring a private investigator who spends 30 to 40 minutes digging through every corner of the internet, even kicking over some rocks to find out exactly what it is you need to know. And here's how it works. You give it a research question, and instead of giving you a quick answer, it goes away and thinks. I mean, really thinks. It searches Reddit, forums, social media blogs, industry sites, everywhere that your customers are actually talking, everywhere they're going out and getting their information. Then it analyzes all that information. It looks for patterns and it comes back to you with a comprehensive report that would normally take you and I weeks, maybe even months to put together. Think about it like this. When you Google something, you get this list of links and you have to do all the work. And when you ask regular ChatGPT something, you get an answer based on its training data, all the data that it was given, and then whenever it stopped. So that's the timeline. And I don't know what the current date is, but it's usually 9 months ago. But let's talk about deep research. It's actively going out, finding fresh information, current information, and it's finding out fresh and current information about what people are saying right now, what people are posting about right now. It's the difference between asking someone what they think people want versus actually listening to what people are saying they want. And for us parent entrepreneurs who don't have time to doom scroll through hundreds of Reddit threads and forum posts, this, my friends, is pure gold. Yeah, think about it for a second. If you were going to do proper market research the old fashioned way, how long would it take? Go ahead, I'll wait. Yeah, because you would need to find the relevant forums. You'd need to read through countless posts. You'd need to take notes, look for patterns, maybe conduct surveys or some interviews. This is weeks, maybe even months of work. And this is not even an exaggeration because I've done it for previous clients and companies I've worked for. But let's kick into deep research here. Deep research can do all of that for you in 30 to 40 minutes. It can read thousands of posts. It can identify the most common pain points, find the exact language that your customers are using because they typed it in, and even tell you what solutions that they have tried already that did not work. It's like having a time machine that lets you compress weeks of research into the time it takes to watch a single sitcom. Now, here's where it really starts getting exciting for my parent entrepreneurs, all my busy entrepreneurs, whether they're parents or not. Remember how I said our time constraints could be our secret weapon? And this is exactly why I said that. You can kick off a deep research project during a nap time and have the results back up on your screen by the time the kids wake up. You can start one right after bedtime and read the report that it kicks out for you with your morning coffee. Heck, you can even start one while you're sitting in the school pickup line. Just set it running and come back to it later, maybe when you're getting ready to do dinner prep. The beauty is once you hit go, the AI does all the work. It does all the heavy lifting. You don't need to be actively involved. You can literally be building a business intelligence advantage while you're helping your kids with their homework. But here's where it really gets smart. You can use this same tool to research two different audiences at the same time. What? I know. Hold on. Stick with me. Run one report to understand your own customers better, and run another to understand the customers of the local businesses you're looking to help. So while you're learning what keeps parent entrepreneurs awake at night, you can also be learning what restaurant customers really want to hear about or what that fitness studio members are really worried about. Two revenue streams, one research method. You feel me? Yeah, it's starting. The creative juices are starting to flow, I hope. Anyway, here's something that might surprise you. Having limited time actually makes you better at this than a full-time entrepreneur. How, you may ask? There goes my magic headphones again. Because when you only have 30 minutes, you can't afford to ask vague questions. You need to be laser focused on what it is you need to know so you can get shit done. Full-time entrepreneurs, on the other hand, they often get lost in analysis paralysis. They can spend hours crafting that perfect research question and then hours more analyzing the results. But when you know you've got exactly one nap time to figure it all out, you can cut straight through the caca to what matters. All right, let me walk you through the 4 steps on exactly how to do this. Step 1, the setup. Obviously, you need to make sure you're using the right model. If you have ChatGPT Plus, which I highly recommend for this, you'll want to switch from regular ChatGPT to either GPT-4 or even better, the O1 model if you have access to it. These are the models that can actually do deep research. Step 2, crafting the perfect research prompt. Let's use perfect with air quotes. This is where most people stumble, bumble, fall, and faceplant. You can't just ask, what do my customers want? No, okay? You need to be a bit more specific. Instead, ask something like, identify the most frequently asked questions that parent entrepreneurs are asking about email marketing. Source these questions from Reddit, forums, and social media platforms. Format the report with a summary, categorize the questions by frequency, and include direct quotes with sources. You see the difference here? You're telling it exactly what to look for, where to look for it, and how to present the findings. Yeah, you're the manager giving the underlings direction on what it is you want them to do, right? treat ChatGPT the same way. Step 3, let AI do all the heavy lifting. Once you've submitted your report, Deep Research will probably ask you some clarifying questions. Go ahead and answer them, and then sit back and let it work. It'll probably spend the next 30 or 40 minutes reading everything that it can find, analyzing those patterns, and compiling that comprehensive report that you're looking for. And that brings us to step 4, interpreting and acting on the results. When it's done, you'll have a detailed report with actual quotes from real people, organized by themes and frequency. This, my friends, is not theoretical. This is what your customers are actually saying in their own words right this very minute, right up to the moment you made that request. And here's the best part: you can ask follow-up questions. Right? You can ask things like, what solutions have they tried that didn't work? What language do they use to describe their biggest frustration? What key phrases and keywords are they using? What would they pay for if it existed? This is intelligence that most entrepreneurs never take the time to get access to, and you can have it in less time than it takes for meal prep for the week. Okay, so let's talk about the 3 research reports I think every parent entrepreneur is going to need. Right? And this is we're not talking theory here. I just gave you all that. Let's get practical. I'm going to dive into the exact 3 research reports that every single parent entrepreneur should run. Every business entrepreneur should run. And I'll even give you a couple of specific prompts that you can copy and paste tonight. Report number 1, your own audience deep dive. This is the assumption that you already have your side hustle going. You want to dig into what your customers need. First, what questions are parent entrepreneurs? Now, mind you, I'm speaking from my perspective. I'm addressing you, parent entrepreneur. What questions are parent entrepreneurs asking about your area of expertise? If you're a time management coach, what specific time management questions are they asking right now? If you help with meal planning, what meal planning challenges are they discussing? Are they faced with? Are they struggling with? Second, what pain points are they discussing online? And I mean real, raw, unfiltered stuff that they're saying when they think no one's paying attention, right? They get on there and it's like, they're blasting, but crickets, no one likes or comments on their post. You're going to get access to that. Those 2 AM posts that they drop in there in Facebook groups, those frustrated comment on blog posts, and those desperate questions that they put on Reddit threads. Yeah, you're going to get those. Third, what solutions are they currently using, but they're complaining about them? This is real gold, people. When people say, I tried this app, but it just doesn't work for a busy parent, that is your opportunity right then to chime in with the right solution. Here's an exact prompt I think you should try. Identify the most frequently asked questions that parent entrepreneurs, put in whatever your niche is, are asking about, insert your expertise area. Source these questions from Reddit, parenting forums, Facebook groups, and other social media platforms. Insert any other forums that you're aware of. Include what solutions they've tried that didn't work and what specific pain points they mentioned. Format the report with direct quotes and sources. You're going to want the sources. Every once in a while, you're going to want to go check things out. So let's hit report number 2. We'll call this the local business customer intelligence. Now, this is where you research the customers of the businesses that you want to help. Remember, if you're going to write email marketing campaigns for a restaurant, you need to understand what restaurant customers actually want to hear about. When you want to understand the customers of restaurants or salons or fitness centers or retail shops, whatever local business you're targeting, you're going to want to know what are their real concerns, what gets them excited, and what makes them choose this business over that business. That's going to be very important. You're also going to be looking for gaps in their current marketing. What are customers asking for that the business is not providing? What complaints keep coming up that no one seems to be addressing out there? Yeah. And here's a big one. You're discovering untapped opportunities. What services or experiences are people asking for, but they can't seem to find it locally? All right. Here's a prompt you should try. Research the customer experience and pain points for, and then you name specific local businesses, like family restaurants. You can call it a category, like Hispanic restaurants, fitness gyms. Find discussions about what customers love, what frustrates them, what they wish these businesses offered, and what would make them more loyal. Source from review sites, local Facebook groups, and relevant forums. Include direct quotes and identify gaps in current service offerings. And press enter and watch the magic unfold. And finally, report number 3, and this one's kind of magic. This is going to be your competitor weakness analysis. This one is my favorite because it's like getting a roadmap to success just handed to you, all folded up nice and neat on a silver platter. Here's what you're looking for, and it's these three things. What are people complaining about regarding your competitors? Not just the big obvious complaints, but it's those subtle frustrations that just seem to keep coming up. What services are people asking for but not finding? These are the gaps in the market that you could fill. And where are the opportunities to differentiate yourself or your client? What could you do differently that would make customers choose you over them, or them over there, or them over there? Okay, here's your prompt. Give this one a shot. Analyze customer complaints and unmet needs related to, and then insert your service or industry there. Find discussions where people are frustrated with current providers, asking for services that they cannot find, or wishing for better alternatives. Focus on identifying specific gaps in the market and opportunities for differentiation. Include direct quotes and source links, and press enter and watch the magic unfold. Let me walk you through a real life example here. Last month, I ran a local business research on restaurants in my area. Well, actually, they were family restaurants. And here's what I discovered. The AI found that parents were consistently complaining about three things. One, restaurants that say they're kid friendly, but don't actually have things like changing tables, places that seem to take forever to bring out the kids' foods, and restaurants that don't offer healthy options that the kids will actually eat. Here's the kicker. It also found that the parents that it came across making these comments and quotes, they were willing to drive further away and pay more for restaurants who would solve these problems. One parent actually wrote, and I quote, I'll drive 20 minutes out of my way for a place that brings the kids' food out first and has activities to keep them busy. Look, that's intelligence you can take straight to that business owner, and you can walk in and say, I know exactly what your customers want, and I can help you communicate that you provide that solution. That's not just email marketing, my friends. That's business consulting. And there's a premium that comes with that. The AI also found specific language patterns that were in there. Instead of always saying kid friendly, successful restaurants were described as family focused or designed for parents. Instead of saying healthy kids options, parents responded better to foods kids actually want to eat that just happen to be good for them. Right? I get it. It's a little longer, but they responded to it. And it doesn't matter what you like, it matters what they respond to. That's the kind of intelligence that's turned you from someone trying to just sell email marketing into someone who understands their business perhaps even better than they do. Yeah. And here's what happens when you have this level of customer intelligence. You stop guessing and you start knowing. You start creating content and hope it resonates. You instead create content that hits straight to the center and the bullseye every time. When you reach out to the local restaurant, you're not saying, hey, I want to do some email marketing for you. You're saying, look, I know what your customers want. I know your customers are frustrated with X, and I can help you communicate that you solve that problem. Let's talk about when you create your own products or services. You're not hoping people will want them. You're solving problems that you now know they have, and you're going to use the exact language you know that they are using and that they will respond to. That, my friend, is the difference between being yet another service provider and being completely indispensable. Okay, so that brings us to my favorite time of every podcast, the Whiskered Wisdom segment. This is where we distill today's episode down into one actionable insight that you can use to implement right away. So here's today's Whiskered Wisdom. The most successful parent entrepreneurs, they don't have more time. They have better intelligence. Let me say that again because it's just that important. They do not have more time. They have better intelligence. And I'm not talking about brain smarts. I'm talking about information. While your competitors are guessing what their customers want, you're going to know what they want. While they're out there throwing content up on the wall and hoping something that will stick and they'll find that, hey, I got something went viral, you're going to create content that hits the bullseye every single time, or at least a higher percentage of the time. While they're wondering why their local business outreach is not working, you're going to walk into meetings with insights that make business owners say, how did you know that about my customers? That could be impressive. This isn't about working harder. It's about working smarter. When you only have those limited times between family responsibilities, smart It really is the only way you're ever going to win. So here's what I want you to do tonight. After the kids are in bed, after the dishes are done, and after your family has finally sat down for the first time all day, I want you to set a timer for 30 minutes, just 30 minutes. Pick out one of the 3 research reports I just walked you through. Maybe it's understanding your own audience better. Maybe it's researching the customers of local businesses that you want to help. Or maybe it's finding out what people are complaining about regarding your competitors. Pick one, craft the research prompt or use the one I gave you and hit go. And then go watch your normal show, your more normal evening show, read a book, whatever it is that you do to unwind, go ahead and do it. And let AI do the work while you're recharging. By the time you're ready for your bedtime, you'll have a comprehensive research report waiting for you. You'll know more about your customers than most entrepreneurs learn in months of expensive market research. Let me trust you, stuff's not cheap. You're going to have insights that will turn you from just another service provider into someone who truly understands the market, and your brain is going to start to twinkle with excitement. This is not just efficiency, this is going to be your unfair advantage. Everyone thinks being a time crunched parent is a disadvantage. But what if it's actually your secret weapon? What if being forced to be efficient makes you way better than all those people who have unlimited time? Yeah. Well, full time entrepreneurs are going to be out there spending weeks overthinking their research strategy while you're getting shit done in 30 minutes. While they're paralyzed by analysis, you're taking action. While they're planning, you're implementing. Your limitation is your liberation. Your constraint is your competitive advantage. So tonight, go ahead and prove it to yourself. Sit down, set that timer, run that research, and tomorrow morning, while you're drinking your favorite cup of coffee and reading the insights about your customers that your competitors do not even know exist, you'll understand exactly what I'm talking about. The most successful parent entrepreneurs do not have more time, they have better intelligence. And starting tonight and your 30-minute time, so do you. What's that? Yep, there go my magic headphones again. I can hear you. Look, I know what you're probably thinking right now. Tracy, this sounds amazing, but I've heard great strategies like this before, and somehow they end up sitting in my notes app collecting digital dust. Or I'm done listening to the podcast episode and I never take. Look, I get it. There's a massive gap between knowing what to do and actually getting up off your ass and doing it, especially when you're juggling cheer practice and science projects and busy schedules. But here's what I need you to understand. Knowledge without action is really just expensive entertainment. Sometimes it's even free entertainment, no charge for the podcast. Anyway, you don't have time for more entertainment. You have dreams to build and you have a family that's counting on you. It's exactly why I created the Dark Horse Insider Escape Plan community. And for $7, yeah, you heard that right, $7, less than your morning coffee run, less than your kid's meal at McDonald's, less than what you're probably spent on that last impulse buy at Target last week. Here's what you get when you join. Step-by-step implementation guides that break everything down into parent-sized action steps, because finding 4 hours to work on your business isn't always realistic when you've got real life going on all around you. Done for you templates and business outreach scripts that actually work. So you're not just staring at a blank screen wondering, what am I going to say? You know, they got cursors taunting you, wondering what to say to that local business owner or to your customer. Group coaching calls, we're going to tackle your specific challenges together, because sometimes you need someone to tell you, yes, you can do this. And I'm happy to be your cheerleader as well as your coach. Sometimes a lot of you parents just need this because in the background, you can have your kids making special requests and your confidence might be wavering. Okay. You're going to have access to the latest tools and training, including some of the exact prompts like the ones I gave you. There's going to be a lot more, the ones I shared, plus dozens more. I don't want to say hundreds more, but it's going to be a growing list that will make you completely unstoppable. And most importantly, a growing community of like-minded entrepreneurs, parent entrepreneurs included, who get what you're going through. People who understand that I'll work on this later actually means I'm going to be working on this after bedtime stories and before I collapse face first into my pillow. You feel me? And this isn't just an investment in your business. It's an investment in your family's future. It's about showing your kids what's possible when you refuse to settle for someday. It's about proving to yourself that being a parent doesn't mean you have to put your dreams on hold. Go ahead and head on over to darkhorseschooling.com/escape, ESCAPE, and join in right now. Because here's the thing, the businesses in your town, they're not going to wait forever. While you're thinking about it, someone else is already reaching out to them with their services. While you're planning to start someday, someone else is already starting today. Don't let that someone else be your competition. Don't let another month go by where you know what to do, but you just damn well don't do it. Your family's financial freedom is worth $7 and 30 minutes of action. darkhorseschooling.com/escape. Stop planning, start doing. Your future self, yeah, they're going to thank you. Remember, being a parent entrepreneur, again, I say this all the time, I want you to feel this, is not about having more time. It's about being smarter with the time you already have. Tonight, while your competitors are binge watching Netflix or Paramount or whatever else, you're going to be uncovering the hidden gold that's been sitting right there in the internet hills, waiting for someone smart enough to go out there and find it. Most people think success is about grinding harder, hustling longer, sacrificing more. But we dark horses, we know better. We know that success is about intelligence, not just effort. It's about turning our constraints into a competitive advantage. It's about proving that limitations don't limit us, they liberate us to think differently. So tonight, when you set that 30-minute timer and kick off your deep research report, you're not just gathering customer intelligence. You're declaring with certainty that you refuse to guess when you can know. You're choosing to be strategic instead of just busy. You're deciding that your family's future is worth 30 minutes of focused action. And when that research report comes back with insights that will make you say, holy cow, I had no idea my customers were even thinking this. Remember, that's not luck. That's being a dark horse. That's you defying the odds and changing the rules of the game. So get out there, run your race, get your results, and let me hear about them. Seriously, go over to darkhorseschooling.com, head over to that contact form, which will email me when you type it out. Tell me what you discovered. And the reason I want you to tell me what you discovered is because I want to celebrate your wins with you. Heck, who knows, maybe even feature your success story on a future episode. Until next time, think successfully and take action.